Three, two, and one, and we're pretty well live, I think. Should be going good. Kind of give it a few minutes here to let some folks chime in. Um, if you're here, let me know you're here. I'm gonna move this screen. Um, it's time for a new monitor for me. This old one I've got is just terrible. It doesn't have quite the right resolution, and it won't let me size windows properly. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Right now, it's taking up half of one screen and half of the other, but on the other screen, it's okay. Now, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Okay, come on. Yeah, now this screen is like 18 feet wide. There we go. We're getting our size down. This has been a pain in my neck. Right on. Excellent. Thank you, Preston. I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate anybody's feedback and input. If anything sounds bad, uh, let me know. I am not offended. Or if you'd like to hear something louder, please chime in. I appreciate that. Um, Let's see. Now it's saying no data, so I don't know um, if I'm streaming or not. I'm hoping everything's working. Um, there's probably about 10 seconds of 8 to 10 seconds of delay between when I. Hi, Tristan. Welcome, brother. Uh, oh, you're very welcome, man. I'm glad you enjoy them. I sure have fun. I sure have fun doing it. Um, and today, I'm hoping that he is able to tune in, and I'm hoping that he's subscribed to my channel because one of the most important people, and I'm not kidding, one of the most important people in my life has asked me to give him some help with Reaper. And I know my guitar is not plugged in yet. We're going to go through all that. And so he's asked me to help him with recording a song to be able to record a verse and maybe a chorus and then be able to cut and paste those places into the song to get the arrangement so he doesn't have to play through the entire song uh, one time to get that perfect take. And I think for the most part, this is going to be something that is fairly well known to most, but I may be able to offer some help to those who don't know how to do it or don't realize how uh, it truly is pretty simple to do. So I'm going to do my best to be as quick as I can today. I am not going to write a song. Um, uh, you know, yeah, and I'm just coming through my acoustic. I'm going to use my acoustic guitar today. Yeah, it's in tune. It's been hanging on my wall for a couple days. Does it sound all right? Yeah, I know it's not live yet. I don't have it running into Reaper yet. Uh, Reefer and Reaper, yeah, yeah. I'm sure that my partner. Let's see. I don't know if you figured it out from watching the Reaper blog and or Reaper TV. If you are a user of Reaper and recording at home, subscribe to those channels and watch everything they uh, they put out. Yeah, Charlie, it's awesome. That it's I've found other software. I've purchased other software that I feel is a little bit more intuitive and a little bit less intrusive. But if you set Reefer up just right and your environment that you're working in is fairly quiet, like mine right now is really quiet. I just have some room echo going on, but I'm not putting deverb, which I have a plugin that removes reverb, so I could pretty much remove the entire room sound from my voice. If I clap my hands right now, you can hear. I hope that you can hear that echo. But yeah, that's a great one. I've shared with the Falco how to use that, so I'm assuming that you've probably watched and maybe he's spoken about it and helped others with that plugin. Um, Now, the person that I was speaking of earlier, his name is Bill, and I'm just going to call him by his first name. And I have no idea if he's here. And I would love it. And I'm going to do a little YouTube coaching too, because I would like him to also be able to use YouTube to converse in chats. He's fairly new to that whole world. He uses YouTube all the time, but he's never been able to chat. Now, I have my chat set up so that you have to be subscribed to my channel for 10 minutes or more in order for you to be able to post anything in the chat. So, if Bill, if you're watching right now, um, the you have to hit that subscribe button, and then you have to wait for 10 minutes before you can chime in. But if you're able to see the chat on the live stream, and I don't even know if you're here, there's no way you could call me, I suppose, if you can't chat. I have my phone in my pocket, and I'll take your call. But it would be nice if you would type something into the chat and let me know that you're here. And then we'll get started on this whole cutting and pasting and splitting and all that sort of stuff in Reaper. And let's see. I've also got a camera here pointed at my keyboard to show you some of the keyboard shortcuts that I'll be using to make my workflow a little bit more efficient. Having a single key to be able to, like, I'll just share with you a couple of things. Well, and I'm going to give it a few minutes before I really dig in, because I want to let as many folks tune in. Not that many people tune into my boring videos, because I might share too much or talk too much. But like if I push R on my keyboard, Reaper immediately starts recording. I don't have to take my mouse and move it around on the key and then get it up in that spot and then click the mouse and then grab my guitar. I can hit that R button. If I want to split a track, I can just hit the S button right here, boom, and it splits the track. And let's see, the space bar allows me to make the play and stop, not play and pause. So those are the main keyboard shortcuts that I use. And I've had to set up the R button, which I can show you how to do that. But it would be nice to know if my buddy Bill is here. And yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, and I'm not going to be I'm not going to be doing much in the way of anything, too fantastic with respect to playing a bunch of guitar today. But I would love to know if Bill is able to tune in, and he may have not. He may have just subscribed, which I don't know. It doesn't ever cost anybody anything to subscribe to a channel. There are certain channels that I've seen that I don't subscribe to because I don't enjoy their content, and that's fine. But you know, I'm you know. And if you don't like my content, you don't have to subscribe to my channel. Uh, I actually came up with kind of a cool. I got to remember how this thing. Yeah, that was it. I came up with a kind of a cool riff. Yeah. Oh, let me get that off. That keyboard picture is pretty boring, isn't it? Um, yeah. So let's go ahead and go to Reaper. So here's my oh, and I got the wrong photo in here. Let me see this one. That one's that. Let me fix this. Let me add. Let's see. So that's video. Forgive me, I didn't have this set up correctly. I'm just going to make an adjustment to it. Um, there we go. And we'll make this. We'll make my face down here. Hi, Justin. Hello. This is all going to be all of the information that I have in here for those of you who have recorded a lot. This is going to be fairly repetitive. Just fair warning. So here I am with Reaper open, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a track here. And this will be my acoustic guitar. So, and in fact, before I do that, I'm gonna run you through. Just let me start from the beginning. So you double click in this area right here to add a track, which Bill knows how to do this sort of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and dig in and Bill, type in in fact, give me a moment. I'm going to call him and make sure that he's, can't seem to find a place to write. Take it off of full screen. Take it off of full screen, and on the right-hand side, that's one bummer about Bill apparently is watching, but he can't, he can't, and you'll figure all this stuff out. These are little steps. Yeah, you have to make it, you can't make it full screen. And I don't do the whole, don't listen to anybody telling you to pop the chat out or do any of that stuff. Just make it so that my picture, the screen that has Reaper in it is a little bit smaller. You can undo full screen on that. And over on the right-hand side of your window, there should be a chat area. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is that what everyone else hears? Preston, Justin, Charlie, in your YouTube when you watch a live stream? Hey, Lord Spike, hello, welcome, brother. Miss the chat. Yeah. And I'll go full screen on some live streams also, just because of what's going on in the screen. I'd love to see it full screen, and I don't need to contribute any thoughts or comments or anything like that. It's hard to do. Keep your mouth shut when you're watching something, but I hope that helps. And Bill, when you find that, just click on that little, hey, look at that. There he is. All right. So everybody say hello to Bill. Do we hear what? Right? Screw you, Charlie. Pop. Yeah, sticking on another monitor. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't want to tell Bill to do any of that sort of stuff. Let's not confuse him. Yeah. He does a pretty good job navigating. And I'm watching the chat right now to see what's going on. Hobbs, Reaper for a number of years now. Excellent. I love it. Everybody say hello to Bill Keenum. I know him as Smiling Bill. And let's see, where's his? Now, I also want to share with you all how important this man is in my life. As when I was in my mom's stomach, being nurtured by her body, that man and my uncle Steve and another gentleman named Stephen Kairos were playing music in our backyard. And that music entered my ears when I was in the womb. And I got to listen to that man play some guitar. And I'm doing this, and I carry that with me to this day. Bill is one of the finest guitar players I have ever met, and I mean that not from because I'm biased or because I've known him my whole life. He truly is a fantastic guitar player. His melodies, his choice of when to bend a note, his rhythmic feel, all of that stuff entered me when I was listening to him. And he would have been, I don't know, 19 years old back in those days. Hi, Zach. Uh, so yeah, and I've stole everything I can steal from that guy. So, and I'm not saying I'm that great of a guitar player, but I sure do love playing. And I have Bill to thank for a lot of that. Bill also helped manage one of the bands that I was in and helped push us to get a record done and helped push us to book gigs. And that band went a long way. So he is a very, very influential person in my musical life. Um, yeah, okay. So you would have been 20 years old. Bill couldn't even drink when I was listening to him play in my mom's belly, right? You weren't even old enough to drink. And you guys, we call him Smiling Bill because the dude just got this endless smile, and it's so fun to be around him and get to spend time with him. We do face that. So Bill, welcome. So let's go ahead and get started with this whole uh, prospect of enabling you to be able to record and such and put a song together. I'm going to try and do this as quickly as I can today, so don't let me talk too much. So I'm going to go straight to Reaper, and I'm going to insert a new track by double clicking, right? So there's my track. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now, one of the first things I do when I'm recording is I go up to this insert. I've clicked on this track. If I don't click on it, if I click down here in the gray area and I've just added another track accidentally, I'm going to remove that. Sorry. If I click on the track, it's highlighted. I go up here to insert and I select click source. And what that does is that gives me a click track that I can visually see that aligns with the grid. You can see these black lines, and hopefully that your Reaper project will look something similar to this, where you've got these grid lines, because you really need to be able to use these grid lines. You can see that I have a timeline up here with it's got the time and then the measures or bars listed on it. So I've got both, and I can zoom way in on this by hitting. Let me get rid of my. Let me get rid of that and that on this screen. So now you can see my full Reaper window. So I can zoom way in at like measure 5 and really get in there and dissect what's going on. And you can see literally one click of the metronome right there. So you can get in here and really edit in depth, right? Okay, so I've got a click source here, and what that does is it allows me to not have to use this goddamn metronome. That kind of sucks because you can't just right click on it and turn it down. You've got to do all this shit, right? With this, by doing this, again, you just insert a track, double click, insert a track, highlight that track, and go up to insert and hit click source. And now I've got a click source on 2 tracks, right? Really, really simple. If I'm being repetitious, it's just because I want this information to really get hit home. So now I can grab the right side of this track and my cursor looks like that, and I can drag it out. And now I can make that click track. Oh, let's make it way longer than a song would be. If you write a song that's more than 3.5 minutes, it's probably too long, especially in today's world. And we're not going to even come close to recording a 3-minute song in this live stream. Now, what I've got is a volume control for that click track. So if I push play in Reaper, I've got that. I'm going to turn my vocal down to 0. My voice might have just gotten a little bit quieter. So now I've got the click track playing, right? And I can turn it down. I can mute it, right? I can have it just count in the intro of a song and stop, right? you can just drag that click track as long as you want, right? So that is the first thing that I do highly recommend. If you're going to record a song, number one, record with a click. Because if you're going to add drums later on, uh, it's very important to record with the click. Okay, enough said about that. So this is the first thing. So now what we're going to do, we're going to insert a guitar track. So I'm going to insert a new track. And this will be my guitar is plugged into input one on my audio interface. So it's on channel one, and I've got a volume control just like your audio interface. And if I hit record, that's armed to record. I've got the volume. I'm going to turn the notch. I'm going to set my EQ on my guitar totally flat. So it's doing nothing. And I have the volume turned to about 3 o'clock, and bring the gain up on that channel on the board just a little bit. Right? Sounds great. Now, some of my guitar is coming through this microphone, and I'm okay with that for this live stream. So let's go ahead. We've got a tempo of 112 up here. This is the other important thing, is to make sure. Let me see. What'd you say, Charlie? I throw a tennis shoe in the dryer and use it for a minute. There you go. I understand. Well, when you have someone that puts drums to your track, send them a track that you didn't play with the metronome and see how happy they are about it. And that I'll leave it at that. Or if you know somebody that likes to program drums, send them a track that you didn't play to a metronome and see how much work gets done. And those of you who have recorded a lot or at all know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? It's important. So my acoustic guitar is sounding pretty darn good. Right? All right, so we've got a good acoustic guitar. Now, this is not about putting effects or anything on tracks, but I'm going to go ahead and go there. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing, type them into that chat and let me know if you have a question. So here's my guitar track. I'm going to title it Acoustic Guitar. Another very important thing to do is title your tracks. First thing, I didn't title click, so I had to entitle this one Acoustic Guitar. And on my acoustic guitar track, I would like to have some reverb, and I'm going to use stock Reaper plugins. So I'm going to type, I'm going to find Reverbate. There it is right there. And now I'll have some crazy reverb. Sounds pretty nice. I'm going to make the room a little bit bigger. That sounds pretty nice. Let's decrease the damping down. Hey, Rody. Hey, brother. Now I'm going to EQ this reverb. I don't like having a bunch of top end in reverb, and I hate having anything below about 250 hertz in my reverb sound. And I'm gonna really give it a narrow window of EQ. So this should I'd like to lengthen the reverb, so I'm gonna make the room a little bit bigger. That sounds pretty nice. Now I'm going to dry it out a little bit by, I'm going to go 100% dry, and I'm going to bring this wet down just a bit so it's not so. Right? Okay. So now we've got a little bit of reverb. So that's how you do that. You can follow you can rewind and follow this or rewatch it if you need help doing that. So now I've got reverb on my acoustic guitar. I'm going to set my tempo to 102 beats per minute. And all I do is click on that up here in the top right of your window and click on that and type in 102, or you can tap a tempo in if you want. You can just take your mouse and click on this tap function, and set the tempo of the song. When you do that, your click track will respond to what the tempo is that you type in up here. So now this click source that I inserted is now clicking at 102 beats per minute. All right, so let's say we've got a little riff. Let me see. I'm going to play one that I know Smiling Bill knows really well, but I'm going to add a chorus to it, a different chorus, so that it has more than one part, right? My reverb is way too wet. I'm going to shorten the length of the decay up, and I'm going to dry it out a little bit more. We don't want a bunch of reverb. Okay, so we're going to do something. Okay, so that's going to be our basis for our song. The first section is a verse. That second section is going to be the chorus, right? So I'm just making this up as I go. Let's see. What did you have to say? Let's see. I wanted a track with 240 hertz in it, but they wouldn't disown me. Yeah. Nice. All right. So now again, I'm gonna switch to my let me make my let's see, is this, let's see, I wanna, so here's my keyboard down here in the bottom right, and for me to record, I push the R button on my keyboard, right? So the moment I push R, I think it should, let me make sure it's working. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I just realized that the click was not loud enough. So this little arrow right here, I'm going to undo the recording I just did. Boom, now the recording's gone. I'm going to turn this click track up considerably. That was not loud enough. Here we go. We're going to try it again. I'm going to push the R button. That's much better. Verse. Chorus. Somehow I got off the click right there. Control R. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I have mine. I just screwed up that guitar part. So in order to get rid of it, I just click on it and hit the delete key on my keyboard and boom, it goes away. Isn't that cool? I totally messed up this song. And I know this is taking way too long. Clip clopping. Yeah. Yeah. And the click sound can be changed by using other samples. But you know, I enjoy this one. It's kind of mild. And the fact that I can turn it up and down so easily right here with the fader on my mix window makes it unintrusive. Hugh, what's up, brother Hugh? Hey, everybody's, again, say hi to Bill. Smiling Bill, if you haven't said hello, and then welcome Mr. Hugh Caldwell from good old Scotland. When's the last time you said 11? Woo, okay, let's do this again. We're going to start over. I made a mistake. We're going to get a good take here. Here we go. I'm going to turn the click up a little bit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. am I turning the count around? Am I in the weird time signature? This is really strange. I'm losing the count of 1. What is going on here? And I'm just zooming in to see my wave file. How am I losing that? Let's start that again. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not playing. I haven't played guitar all today. Not even touched one till right now. So cut me some slack. I didn't warm up. Here we go. I'm gonna try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I've lost it. That's where I've lost the click. So let's do this. Let's make this 2/4. Enter. All right, let's see if that helps me to keep that accent note. My goodness. Okay, that was interesting. 1, 2, 3. Chorus. So there's our whole song, right? Okay, so we've got the intro. We can go. I'm going to zoom in here, and we'll minimize this click track, get that kind of noise out of the way, so we don't have to look at that. Here's my track, nice and big. So I'm going to go ahead and push play right at the very beginning. Beginning of the verse, right? So right there, I'm going to right click in the timeline up here, and I have the snapping function. This button right here will become very important. It snaps right to that line on the grid where my verse starts. I'm going to right click, insert marker. I'm going to call it verse 1, right? So right there, is our chorus, right? So I'm going to insert a marker, and I'm going to call it chorus 1, right? However, our verse is not long enough. It needs to be twice that long. We want this verse lick from this section, and I can highlight this section to this section to be twice that long. So what am I going to do? I'm going to split it here. And all I have to do is click on the track. And when I hit this S button, it splits the track right there. And then I go to this point and I split it again. So now I have this individual verse riff, right? So I'll take this track and just drag it out of the way. And I will copy item. And I'll click over here and I'll paste it and slide it together. And now all right, so now we want to have a chorus. Just dragging the pieces around. Okay, so there's our chorus. Right there. Right there. So I'm going to go ahead and split it. There's our entire chorus. So this is our chorus section, we know. Here's our chorus where it starts. And now I've got that marker here where it's actually verse. We'll right click on that and oops, I'm sorry. Have to right click on this and remove marker. Right? Okay, so we've got our chorus. It's nice, nice chorus. And my performance is not that great, but Bill, this is what we were talking about last night, where you're like, I don't want people to be able to hear it. Bill and I had a conversation on the phone last night about recordings that we've listened to that you can hear where they've edited, made a definite edit back in the day when we were cutting tapes in the studio. So yeah, and just so you all are aware, Smilin' Bill knows this song and has played this song literally thousands of times. At least the main riff in this song. The song, the riff in this song, I have to give credit where credit's due. This is a song written by my uncle Steve called "Downhill Walkaway," and it was I think one of the best songs that he's ever written with respect to lyrics and melody. And he even put that little riff in it. That riff is the first riff I ever played on guitar, and I was probably 8 years old. I am not 7, maybe. I was really little. So I've been playing this song my whole life. All right. So let's go in here a little bit deeper. So we're going from the verse to the chorus right here at this point. Now, we want to put another verse after this chorus. So let's grab the end of the song. We'll get that out of the way. We'll click on that, and then I'm going to use Control and click on this one. I can also right-click and drag and select both of them. So if I don't have them selected, if I right-click and select both of them, now I've got them both selected. And if I right-click again and copy the items, I can go over here to the right side and paste those items in there and drag them right up to the edge of that. And here we go. We're cutting and pasting. Right? Now, here is one cool thing that you can do when doing edits like this in Reaper. I'm going to zoom way in on this piece right here. And what we're gonna see, we should see, yeah. You'll notice that there's a little crossfade in there. So there's about 0.02 milliseconds of crossfade right here. Okay. What I can do is I can go up here to this snapping tool. Again, the snapping tool allows you. Let me show you how. With it selected, I'm zooming back out so we can see all of my tracks. And I've got this one drugged down here. You'll notice that when I move it, it snaps to each line on the grid. Wherever I get, whatever grid line I'm closest to, it snaps there. This is why it's so vitally important that while you're recording, that you record to a click track, because it allows you to make moves like this, and you can be pretty confident that everything's done in time, right? Now, if I deselect this snapping function, this horseshoe shape, magnet shape, whatever. Now, if I move that thing, I'll zoom way in. If I move that thing the slightest little bit, I can drop it anywhere I want. The other thing it allows me to do is grab the edge of this and drag it microns, right? And if you don't like what you just did, use these arrow keys up here in the top and just undo it and watch my waveform. It goes right back to where I started. If I undo it again, it'll move the waveform back to where I started. right? So having said that, here's how you make these things really vanish. So we're going from our chorus to our verse, right? Let's listen. Let's listen. So we've got our chorus and our verse coming together right here. If I just grab this and scoot it a little bit, drag it just a little bit that way. Now, what I've got is a crossfade in here. And you can make it as brief or as long as you'd like. And I mean, you tell me if you can hear that I did any kind of edit, right? Tell me you can hear an edit in that. If you can hear an edit in that, I challenge you to tell me that you can hear an edit. Yeah. Well, I thank you for saying that, man. I have fun doing them. Play a short set. Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, this is how I go about, and I promise that if any of you have heard anything that I've ever released on YouTube or any of the other streaming platforms, I promise you that I've done this stuff exactly what you're watching me do right now in my songs. And I have yet to ever have anyone say, damn, dude, I heard that edit, you know? Charlie, that is a great statement right there. Yeah. And playing comfortably with a click track is really an important skill to develop in your playing as a player. Now, I did not play the tightest guitar parts on this little piece of music that I've put together here. So we've got our second verse. Okay, so that one sounded a little wonky. When we combine those two, it sounds a little wonky. Well, let's make it not sound a little wonky. I hope you could hear that. I didn't feel like that was a very good crossfade right there. Yeah, so something weird's going on right there. I think it's where I was switching to the chorus. So what I want to do is just shorten up that edit. That's sounding a little more real. Now, I haven't moved the track off of the grid. If we go over here to the right, the very far right, it should not be moved off of the grid. Yeah, it's landing right. I'm going to turn the snapping back on, and you can see that where I cut that thing is landing right on the grid. Lord Spike Protein, that is an absolute, almost damn near perfect statement right there. You are almost a DJ. You are a DJ when you're mixing stuff like this. Let's see. Bill. Thank you for saying so, Bill. You know how much you had to do with all of that stuff. I appreciate the kudos. I really do. So let's just say we want our second verse twice as long as the first. Well, let's copy these items. We'll paste them in right here. Now, what I don't know, I may have the edge of this a little bit off because I did the crossfade and I've got it set to snap. So let's listen to how this happens here. So we're doubling the length of the verse. So now our verse is twice as long. And I'm gonna drag this. Oops, I don't want to drag both of them. Let me undo that move. All right. I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna crossfade this a little bit further just to see if I can make that transition a little. Still not what I want, but that's just my performance probably. There we go. Sounds pretty natural. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this one, drag it out. We need a chorus. Let's see, that's our chorus, right? Let's copy this. Copy item. We're gonna paste it in right here. Oops, let me undo that. Let's paste it in right here. There's our chorus. I'm going to drag it over, bump it up to that. Oh, but we want this second chorus to be twice as long. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to get this out of the way. You can see, you can just kind of reach in there and grab a piece and move it however you like. As long as you got snap set up here, you can move it and it will land exactly where you want. And again, you could take this. I have snapping set. I can do that and get a crossfade going there. I mean, it's virtually invisible. Not virtually, it is invisible. I don't think anybody would ever notice that edit if you didn't see me do it. We're going to double the length of the chorus. So I'm going to paste another piece of the chorus in here. We'll scoot it right up next to that. So let's listen to this doubled chorus. Let's listen to this edit here. We just doubled the length of our chorus, but this little crossfade right here isn't quite right. Yeah, it's because you can see that this track, I've stretched this track ever so slightly. Now you'll notice I have that cursor that looks doubled, whereas if I move it one direction, now you've got one, now you've got two. If I just drag that, we just remove that little glitch. That symbol right there allows you, it just moves the split point in together. It moves both tracks together. That still doesn't sound right. Still doesn't sound right. It's almost as if, yeah, I did get off of the click. I can see right here. So I had shuffled this one. So I'm going to unselect the snapping tool and I'm going to scoot this over. And let's see how that does. Pretty amazing. So a little bit of navigating and a little bit of clicking and a little bit of cutting and pasting, you can do something like this. This is how you can take a little piece of music and just record the verse riff. Just play and record the verse riff once. and then double it uh, by copying and pasting that. Um, yeah, this little button right here and this snapping tool, dude, I cannot tell you how vital this thing is. Having it on and off, and if you have it off and you move if you move something, you can really mess stuff up. So you have to be very attentive to whether or not you have this selected. Because if you move something and then you go over here and move something, you're going to end up sitting there. And I can do this. This is the value of these. So I'm just going to drag this, all this around. We'll mess it up nice and make it all fucked up, right? We're going to fuck this up. So now if we listen to this little pieces that I just drug all over the place, let's see how terrible this is. What did I do? Oh, what happened? Oh, my song's totally screwed up, right? Nope. Undo, undo, undo it, undo it, undo it. Keep pushing the undo button until you get back to where you started. And all of your mistakes that you just got done making can be deleted pretty easily. And I think if I hit undo one more time, maybe my my ending part will go. Oops, let's undo. Yeah, there it goes right back to where it started. And that still doesn't sound that great, so I'm going to go ahead and drag that a little bit. So these little crossfades that you're seeing me do, they end up when you zoom in and the little arrow buttons or the plus and minus buttons over here on the bottom right. Oh gosh, you can't see that. I'm sorry. Let's close that keyboard screen. These little plus and minus buttons over here allow you to zoom way in. And you can see now, you can see the crossfade that I've done by dragging the edge of this. And if I drag it further, I can do that. Let's see. See if you can hear this. Welcome to the world of digital recording. Now, bands have been able to do this since the early 90s instead of having to cut a piece of tape. But go ahead and try and do a crossfade on a piece of tape, magnetic tape. I'm off a tick. Yep. And I'm not that concerned about it. I kind of move stuff around. So now I've got this part, basically the whole song recorded, right? And it's about the perfect length for a song in today's world. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. If you write a song longer than that, people are going to listen to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of it and move on. That's just the way the world, what music has come to. There's so much really, I don't know. How do I'm not going to avoid that whole subject. So I'm going to insert another track. I'm going to arm it to record, and I'm going to call it acoustic lead. Now what we're going to cover is punching in, right? We're going to cover punching in. All right, so I've got this acoustic lead. The track is armed. I'm going to check my signal. Now, what I'm going to do on this track, I'm going to add some reverb. I'm going to add redelay. I'll show you how to. These are some really cool effects. I'm going to use redelay, the Kakos version. I'm going to mix it real wet, or I'm sorry, fairly not very wet. And I'm going to set this at, these are eighth notes. So I'm going to set it at 2. And I'm going to move the feedback up to about 10 or so. Let's see how that. And I'm going to put a little EQ on this to get rid of the low end. We don't want a bunch of low end feedback, and we don't want a bunch of treble feedback. We want to reduce these frequencies down. We don't need 12K hertz hitting us in our ears on a delay. So we've got redelay, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the reverb effect that I have on my regular guitar, and I'm going to drag that over and put it after my delay on my lead guitar track. So now my lead guitar track has this signal path. Oh, and let's do something else. Let's add a compressor. We're going to add Reacomp, one of the best compressors ever. Now, we don't want that after the reverb and delay, right? We want that on our guitar before it hits the delay and the reverb. So we just drag it up to the top. So now it goes compressor, delay, and reverb. And we're going to set a ratio of about, let's go 6:1. And we'll make the attack fairly long so we get some good pick attack. So I'm going to go 20 milliseconds or so. And we're going to keep the release fairly long so that I can get some sustain out of it. And we're not going to do any high pass or low pass. And now I'm going to check my signal and bring my threshold down to the point that it does some compressing. And I'm going to give it a shot. Let's play along with this thing. I have no idea what I'm going to play. Right. Okay, let's try this. I'm just going to put a lead part in this and then we'll punch in. Wow, I really messed up. All right, so let's go in here and let's figure out how to punch in. Right? This is a song I've been playing since I was a little kid. It's so funny, and to listen. If you guys could hear Bill playing along with this, it would have a completely such a better sound. That guy is such a great guitar player. And I hope that we all get to hear some of his recordings soon. Okay, so right at the very beginning of that, so I don't really like that very beginning of it. Like okay, so right there. Let's turn the snapping function back on. You'll notice if I zoom way in right here, I'm not on that, the count of 1 right here. With the snapping on, I'm on 1. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do to punch in right here. I'm gonna highlight this section with I just left click and highlight the section where I'm gonna be punching in. I go up to my record button up here at the top of the window, right click on it, and record mode, time selection, auto punch. Right? Sounds like a lot. Now watch what happens here. You'll notice I'm still going to be recording on this acoustic lead guitar track. Watch what happens. Here we go. Ah, man. Look what happened. I got 2 tracks now. Well, how about we just undo that? back to the normal. Let's try it again. And I'm gonna use my R key. If I hit R on my keyboard, now I've got both of those takes, and we can listen to one. If I push on this one, it's highlighted, it'll play this one. If I click on this one, it'll play this one. Whichever take you have selected, it will play that take. Okay, so let's just say, not really digging what's happening right here. So if I split this by hitting the S key, and let me show my keyboard. Hang on. So I hit the S key right here. Let's go back down. S, it split that. So now I'm going to listen to that part and this part. So now this section and this section are selected. So it's going to switch from this playing this track to this track right at this moment. Right? So give it a listen. Punching in could never be easier. It can't be easier than that. Oh, you don't like what you did? Well, okay, let's do another take. All right. 2, 3, 4. Oh, I love that one. That was kind of nice. That had some good feel to it, good melody. Yeah, I love that one. That's a keeper, right? Select the two. I right click down here and drag over and select, because I put a split in this, correct? If I right click and go to take, and select croc to active take, forgive me, boom. Now all I have to look at is that one. I don't have to deal with the other ones. This is another step in the process to kind of keep your workflow organized. Sounding pretty darn good. Now, another little trick that I've shared with many folks on many occasions, but we're going to double this guitar track very easily. Secret way to do this. This is a big top secret thing here. Insert a new track. Go to your effects for that track. Your Reaper may not look like mine. I have mine customized quite a bit. We're going to put a delay on that. And we're going to have 0 dry, and we're going to set the length of the delay to about 18 milliseconds. 18 and a half will be fine. We're not going to use any high pass or low pass filter on it. And we are going to pan this all the way to the right. And we're going to take our original acoustic lead guitar track, and we're going to pan it all the way to the left. Now we're going to take this route key, and I'm going to drag this down and drop it on the routing, and I'm going to select it to pre-fader post effects, right? So if I move this fader, it'll turn this track down, but it won't turn this one down. And we've got this one panned to the right, this one panned to the left, and we get this beautiful doubled guitar sound. one really important part about doing that. Let me get back to my face. You can see what I've done on all that. It's pretty simple, and I don't know. I've been on for about an hour, a little over an hour now. Um, One important part about, especially with the lead guitar, um, by doing that with the lead guitar and panning it out to the right and left, you don't have to play it twice. You can. I could certainly copy that part and play it twice. But in doing that and panning that guitar out to the right and left side of the mix, you've moved it out of the way of the vocals that will be dead center of the mix. So your guitars are way out here and your vocals are here. And at that point, even if they're both using a lot of the same EQ frequencies, the human voice and the acoustic guitar have a lot of the same frequencies. It gets that guitar out of the way of the vocal, right? So let's go ahead and record a vocal track. Why not? I do know some lyrics, so I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna go here to the click track, and I'm gonna insert a new track, and I'm gonna tell it to use input 3. I don't know all the lyrics to this song, but I'm gonna arm it, and so now I've got two of my voice in here. And we're going to go ahead and grab these input effects, and I'm going to drag those down and put those on my voice. So I should have an absolute duplicate. Here is the RX. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys, I didn't have it on the proper screen. Let's go here and turn that one off. Okay. So here is the denoising software that I use. It's called RX Voice Denoise. And here's the signal chain that I have on every live stream that I do. I've got a preamp going in here. Got the preamp kind of bringing my volume up a little bit, which keeps my gain knob on my audio interface down fairly low. I've got a bit of EQ on it. I'm bumping a little bit of this and getting rid of all of the low end. There's nothing below 200 hertz that's even worth having. I've got it set at 108. And then I've got the RX voice denoise. And I actually have two instances of it. I've got one at the very beginning of my signal chain and then one at the very end. You'll see that this one, it's doing adaptive mode. So it's constantly altering for noise in my room. This is one thing that Reefer, and Charlie, you brought up Reefer, is that you have to, Reefer does not have, you'll notice these little lines are moving. They're constantly adapting. In Reefer, it doesn't do that. It just basically takes an IR of the noise and you have it set there. So it can create some artifacts. But once you get it dialed in, you'll get it. Just mess with it. There you go. So now I've got a nice vocal patch. You can see that my voice is going in there at a nice level. I think I'm hitting about -6. Let's go ahead and take the effects that I have on my guitar. We'll do the delay. Let's do a compressor. So now I've got a compressor on my voice, and we'll go ahead and put some delay on my voice. So I'll drop it in there. So now I got some delay, and let's put some reverb. So now I'm in the same room as my acoustic guitar, and I'm going to go ahead and push record. And we need to remember that we were punching in there. So I've got to right click on the record button. I'm going to bypass these effects. All you got to do is push this power button, and you've got to bypass your effects. This record button is now set to punch in, so it'll only record from that point. You can see that it's recording now. And it's still recording, and I'm not doing any vocal stuff, but once it hits that point, it stops recording. Now, one thing is that when you do that, and if you make a mistake, let's stop. If you make a mistake like that and you think, oh shit, all the stuff that I did past this point of the performance was really good. Look what I just did. I didn't lose anything. Reaper does not lose anything. If you do a punch in and you play some stuff beyond the punch in that's really good, you did not lose it. Okay, just so you know, that is, if you're using Reaper, I mean, it's one of the cool things. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. I just highlighted it and hit the delete key, and now we got some delay, and we're gonna set our record mode to normal. And let me see. I've got a message. Somebody says, oh, well, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can help Bill here. Let me turn off this delay for a moment. Let's see. Okay. Now my chat won't enter the chat box. It's like my entry is frozen out. Bill, what you might try doing is going up to the top of the page and hitting the refresh button. There's a little circle up at the top of the YouTube window, and just click on that and it'll refresh the live stream. You may be having a little glitch with the internet connection. Mark, hello. Really cool stuff. 20 minutes. Yeah. Bill, I hope that may have helped. I'm just helping Bill a little bit with some YouTube navigation here, hoping that he got it back up and running. And Bill, you're in the presence of some pretty amazing people. Mark Tanner, the Foul Crow, has become a very fluid YouTube user, and both of those guys are very good with Reaper. Preston is very knowledgeable. His sound is totally different than what I'm doing at all, but he's got a great live stream, and he always has great audio and does live streams. All of these guys, I would highly recommend that you maybe go and subscribe to their channels. It's good to see you, Mark. Thank you for sending me that melody file the other day for that riff that I put together. I definitely have some rearranging to do on that for sure. Let me, I got to check my blood glucose. I feel like I'm getting a little bit low. I feel like I am, but never go by how you feel. Oh man, I'm perfect. Check this out. For all you diabetics out there, if you don't have a Dexcom G6, I do highly recommend it. But those are the numbers you want to see 24 hours a day. I am not afraid to share this. This is important shit. This stuff is life-changing. The technology, if your doctor hasn't prescribed you a G6 device or G7 device now, I highly, highly recommend that you ask them to give you that. This will change your life. And if it doesn't change your life, you're not paying any attention to it, because the alarms will go off, and if you don't do something about it, you're going to feel like shit. Anyway, there's my little diabetic 2 cents. All right, let's go back to, I don't know if Bill has got his chat up and running yet, because he may, oh, you got it. Okay, cool. Thanks. Cool. Sometimes you have to hit that refresh button. We all have to do it once in a while, Bill. So get used to it, especially on live streams. I don't know why that is really. And I'm talking with my hands. God, what a dork. All right, let's put some vocals. Here we go. So we'll let the intro go. Downhill, walk away. I've heard people say that you can't see for 14 miles. No use wishing, don't try no pushing, cause I think I'm gonna stay a long, long while. I'd rather, I don't know what I'm gonna sing. All right, so there we go. I got some vocals on that. They sound terrible. I'm not singing real strong, but so I have that extra shit that I don't like, just grab the left side of the track and get rid of it. And then I had this little, let me turn the effects off. I got this little thing that I said here at the beginning. Well, we don't need that. And now it's gone. This is pre-trimming up all of your files so you don't have a bunch of like clicks and pops from your microphone going on in these spaces, right? Gosh, I don't like that lead vocal. Well, let's try it again. Downhill walkway, I've heard people say that you can't see for 14 miles. No use wishing, don't try no pushing, cause I think I'm gonna stay a long, long while. Right? Sounds pretty good, but now I got 2 vocal takes and this little extra chunk of shit here at the end that I don't want. Well, we'll delete that. We'll highlight this track and we'll turn the effects on and see what it sounds like. Downhill walkway, I've heard people say that you can't see 14 miles. No use wishing, don't try to pushing, cause I think I'm gonna stay a long, long while. Oh, and I'm sorry that I need to make sure that I have this window open while I'm doing any editing. Again, what I had going on here was some extra tidbits down here at the end that I don't want. So we'll get rid of that stuff and trim that stuff off the back end. And I do have 2 tracks open here. This is my second vocal take. That's my first vocal take. And you can switch between them. You can listen to one. Downhill walkway, I've heard. Now we're listening to this one. Oh man, that guitar walked all over my voice. Well, let's go down here and we'll hit split. We'll hit, and we'll just get this fill. Let's get rid of this, or we can move it. People say that you can't see 14 miles. All right, let's split that there. I'm gonna move that guitar lick that I just got done playing. That didn't hit in the right spot. That you can. People say that you can't see 14 miles. People say that you can't see 14 miles. No. I don't know where it should go. People say that you can't see 14 miles. No. That lick kind of sucks. So let's just right click on it, go to item settings and go mute. And now it's gone. And now we'll listen. Downhill walkway, I've heard people say that you can't see 14 miles. No use wishing, don't try to pushing, cause I think I'm gonna stay a long, long while. So it ain't sounding too dang bad. Right? Yeah. So, ultimately, I think I've covered a lot of what, and this is a ton of shit to try and absorb. This is a lot of information. But we have built a song by cutting and pasting pieces of the verses together. You can see I played for about, I don't know, 25 seconds, and I ended up with all of these pieces of music cut together and a 2.5 minute long song. Or it's close to 2.5 minutes. It's about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. All right. There's really to build a song like you were asking about, Bill. I hope that I've covered all of the details. I know this video has been kind of long. We're an hour and 25 minutes in right now, but if anybody has any questions or would like me to um, to repeat anything that you may have missed, please let me know. I would love to help. I've been working with Bill for a few weeks now on getting his his Reaper setup and his audio interface and just basically starting at ground zero. The man knows how to record, knows how to play, but getting the navigating all this shit, as many of you well know. Okay, Bill, you feel confident that you can um I don't mean to call you out here, but do you feel confident that with what we had spoken about last night that this has helped maybe get you going on that in that direction? It's a lot of mouse work and using the snap function, all of that. I hope I've covered my bases pretty good. I know this has been a long stream, you guys. Um, okay. Now, a couple things I want to recommend um, to everyone watching who might be interested in using Reaper is subscribe. Go. In fact, let me do this for you. I'm going to put a couple links up um, in the chat. Oh, look at that, Marshall's live. Reaper blog. I should be able to see this. There it is. We're going to go to their homepage, and I'm gonna copy and paste this into the chat. All right. Okay, I'm gonna paste two links in the chat for you. This is to the Reaper blog. And Bill, what I recommend you do right now is just right click on that link that I just put in the chat and right click on it and just open link in new window or in new tab. Open link in new tab. Subscribe and hit notifications for the Reaper blog. And I don't care if you don't like how the guy talks. He's kind of hard to listen to sometimes, but and then we'll go to where are you? Let's search again. See if I can Reaper TV, I think is the name of the channel. Reaper TV right here. We'll copy that. I'm going to put this in this link. Also, those two YouTube channels, if you need to learn how to do anything on Reaper, there is a video on there that will help you figure out how to do it. And sometimes you got to wade through 10 minutes of other shit to get to it. But yeah, I think anybody in the chat is definitely subscribed to me because you can't be chatting unless you're subscribed to my channel. And I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you for saying that. It's interesting. I find it interesting how some channels like have this huge growth spurt, and then all of a sudden, like nobody subscribes to them. And I found it funny. Mine has been on this constant, steady, slow growth, basically from the time I started, and I'm still seeing people subscribing to. Thank you much, Hugh. Yeah, that's a smart move. You guys can learn so much from the Reaper blog and Reaper TV. So it's interesting. And I appreciate it. I've had a lot of people watching my old guitar repair videos. I've been getting tons of people commenting on my old guitar videos. So I don't know if Adrian Vandenberg has become popular for some news thing he did or what. But it's been interesting. I've had a big resurgence of people watching my guitar repair videos, and it's been cool to see that. And people are still subscribing. I'm slowly but surely growing. I was at 1,300 less than a year ago, and now I'm up at 1,400 and some odd. And I don't really care about that. It's never going to be much, but it is nice to see that people are paying attention. And I do provide a lot of really fun, entertaining, informative, educational shit. I know a lot of people have learned a lot from my channel, and I'm happy to help. It gives me something to do. It's not like I'm obligated to anything, right? The only thing I'm obligated to is filling up that fucker's Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, he's hiding. All I got to do is make sure I give him water and food in the morning. Outside of that, I got nothing better to do than to help, and I'm happy to do it. Um, so I don't know. I don't think Smiling Bill has any. Oh, I know. I think I subbed to him. We can all give him a good little bump in the. A good little bump. Let me see. Hang on. We'll see how many. He might be kind of. He might be kind of hard to find. Just because, well, no, he's got a pretty unique name. Um, what the heck? Come on. There we go. Okay, enter. There we go. And I'm gonna filter. I'm gonna go. Oh, is that you? Channel. There he is. I'm going to one video. He's got a short video up there. I am Bill's first subscriber, and I have my notifications turned on. Ah ha 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 ha. That's so awesome. I forgive me, you guys. I'm laughing. Bill and I have known uh, known one another since the day I was born. So that's Bill's YouTube channel, and I'm telling you that if this guy, he's written multitudes of songs, and I've listened to him and tried to play along with a lot of them, but his music is can get complex, and it is not easy. And the dude can finger pick like a goddamn man. He's so good. Uh, let's see. So Gurian boy, and he also plays a Gurian, one of the finest guitars ever made. It is fantastic. You should hear. I hope that some of you will get a chance to hear him play some guitar one of these days. So I'm gonna stop kissing your ass, Bill. But thank you for everything you've done for me and taught me from before I was born. So, all right, you guys. I'm gonna end this stream. I think I'm gonna open up. Well, I'm gonna have a sip of Diet Pepsi and maybe get on to trying to record some other stuff. Uh, hmm Yeah, that's interesting. Um, yeah, thanks, Preston. Yeah, and Mark, I hear that a lot. I have never ever, and I'm not even gonna say it. If I say it, it'll happen. I can't say I've never ever, but never say never or always. Yeah, I've been seeing just like constant oh shit. Bill, you better be sending me some. We're gonna have to work on and Bill, we're gonna have to work on getting you really proficient with rendering. You've got the recording down pretty well, so we'll get to that soon enough. Hey, peace, everybody. Have a really wonderful Wednesday afternoon and evening wherever you are. Mark and everybody, Bill, Preston, Richard, Lord Spike, Zach, Hugh. Who did I meet? Rody. I'm trying to think of everybody that I saw on here. Yeah. Peace, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.